Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to irondinos. Today we've got games of golf here, Windbound. Today we've got Shaun.
Yo!
And yeah, this is basically a survival sort of game, really. And about to get into this right now. So this is the very first opening scene that you get. Gives you a little bit of story and background as to what the hell's going on. And as you can see, you're about to drown. Have you played much of this, dude?
Well, I was just going to tell you what my first thoughts are on what's going on, and what my thought was someone really wanted more Wind Waker. Because this is making me think so much of that wonderful, wonderful game. Obviously, that was 2D cel-shaded animation, this is 3D cel-shaded animation. It's kind of a mix between Wind Waker and whatever the latest one is, the Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild. I had to look at my shelf for that.
Yes.
But that's definitely not a bad thing, because I too would like to play more Wind Waker. So yeah, I'm all in on that.
Yeah, I love that. Definitely. Definitely reminded me of that. Just the whole look of it and everything. So you wake up on this island, and it runs you through some of the basics, and you just got to go around and start picking stuff up and trying to survive, really.
I found it quite interesting that it opens up as you've got there with chapter 1, because as soon as I read about it, I started loading it. I'm like, okay, but this is going to be a survival game, so there's not going to be much to draw me on once we're past, what I play for this. And then quite quickly in, I mean, I've not got the same starting islands as you have.
Oh, okay.
I actually had quite a job getting to that second island, but you've got health and you've got a stamina bar. And the stamina bar wasn't quite enough for me to swim from one island to the other. So what I had to do was I had to climb onto some rocks, and there was one rock in the middle of the water. Jumped, just close enough. I had to jump to that, and then that gave me just about enough stamina to get to the other side. I was drowning a little bit, but I managed to make it.
Oh,
yeah. So my game was almost incredibly short, because I couldn't... Oh! I never went up to one of those to realise you could dig it.
Yeah, you need a tool though. You got to make a tool to be able to do it. I'll do it later, but it takes a while to get to it, because you need. I think you need a horn of one of the sort of enemy animals that are on the island. I can't remember which one off the top of my head.
Yeah, I got killed by one of those quite quickly on.
Yeah. Yeah. So did I. I mean, I got quite lucky.
Your starting area is so much kinder than mine. Mine had grass and rocks.
Yeah.
And nothing else. And then I came across that boar and I tried to hunt it. And it killed me. This was over the far side of the island. But I started losing health for no reason. Even though I was supposed to still be in the tutorial bit, I think my character was hungry, because her stamina wasn't thinking, but nothing actually told me that, so I'd lost about half my health before realising what the heck was going on. I thought I'd eaten some berries and they were poisonous or something. I was very confused.
Yeah, basically the bar at the bottom, basically, it kind of doubles up as your hunger and stamina, and so the lower that gets, if it disappears completely, it'll start taking some of your life. Sort of a little bit every couple of seconds. Yeah. And so you got to make sure you've got enough food. And funny enough, I was talking about this just before we started the video. I very quickly found out what I had to do, and I felt I could have gone to those islands to do what I needed to do rather quickly to progress the story, but I couldn't, because there was so much more to do, and you have to make sure you got enough food first of all to survive the journey, and then you got to just build up your supplies basically so you can survive. And so yeah, it's almost you see what you got to do, but you got to do these other things first. Yeah, I quite like that. And yeah, this is just very simple, making a boat. And this is the very first boats you get, and then you can upgrade them more and more and more. Interestingly, a message popped up when I started upgrading. A message popped up saying, the bigger your boat gets, the harder it is to control.
Right.
So then it said, find what boat best suits you. And I thought, that's almost counterproductive, isn't it? It's like, well, yeah, you can upgrade your boat, but it's going to make it extremely more difficult for you. So you're like, what's the point in upgrading it then? Why am I going to make it extremely more difficult for myself? But I've upgraded it to a certain amount, and so far it's okay. But yeah, funny enough, the easiest to control is definitely that boat I've got there, just with the paddle. That's super easy. When you get further, like I made a sow later on, and getting used to the sow, oh my god, that was really difficult because it takes into account the wind. So if the wind's directly facing you, you've got to tighten the sail, and then if it's going with you or crosswind, then you've got to loosen the sail a bit. So it's got wind mechanics there as well.
So it's actually teaching you how to sail a boat while you play.
Basically, yeah. Basically, and I thought, wow, that was a lot more in depth than I thought it was going to be. Just on that little mechanic, and I thought, oh, okay. And you've when you're going against the wind and you tighten your sail, you've almost got to kind of go sideways and then get a bit of speed and then redirect your boat to where you want to be, and then so you kind of got wiggle almost. And, yeah, it's quite difficult. But these are the things you've got to collect, just before we carry on. So, yeah, it's these little shrines. You need 3 of them to move on. And that was the very first one.
What do you mean by move on? So is the world one giant interconnected thing, or will you literally be area completed and you'll move on to a completely new area?
So, yeah, so I don't know if you can...
Don't think you need to sneak up on that pumpkin.
Alright, so in the background you'll see a big massive storm all the way around you, and you can't see any further than that storm, and that is the area, the maximum area to which you can sail.
Yeah.
Once you've collected those 3 shrines, there's a centre island. Well, it was quite central for me, but it might generate different for other people. But
yeah,
there's a sort of central island, and you can't get to the top of it until you collect all 3 of these shrines. And once you do, you then go through this sort of portal, it's sort of portal area to get to the next portal. Once you go into the portal, you'll then spawn in a brand new area with brand new islands, brand new enemies. Yeah, so it is an open world as sort of, but you are restricted.
Yeah, that's a shame. But
can't
then
go much further until you collect them.
Yeah, it's very hard to do. It'd be with the size of this as it is already, it'd be hard to make it all one giant thing, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. This was one of the creatures, the Gorehorn.
Gorehorn.
Yeah. Yeah. When you first see this dude, he's extremely hard to fight.
Yeah. I would very much assume you're going to get your butt kicked.
Is this... Yeah. Is this the one that kicked your butt as well?
No, I was killed way before this. I only managed to get half an hour's playing to this before we made the video because it launched so late and everything. Yeah. So I've played around on the first couple of islands and I've built some stuff and I've swum around a bit like that, but it's more getting to handle with the very basics. Then I got killed by a boar.
Yeah.
Because I'd run out of stamina, I didn't realise why. I didn't realise I had to eat, so that's what it was. I was losing health. I thought, oh shit, I'll kill this dude and then I'll eat that and that'll be fine.
So this is the death area. This is like the little hub area. You can, if you've collected enough of this, I don't actually know what it's called. You collect these shards, these spirit shards almost, and there's a counter, and the more you collect, and when you get to those shrines, you can actually make an offering, and it will give you something in return. I was quite lucky; I had enough, so I was able to get that witch's hat, and it gives you a few perks. Mainly to do with potions, but I didn't actually get to the potions on this game because I didn't have the materials to make it. Basically, you've got to make like a pot and a cauldron and collect all these other stuff and so it's very the shards I was collecting there. Yeah, six shards obtained. It's those, and they're the ones that you can make an offering, and so that was. So I couldn't actually do much with the hat, unfortunately. But... Yet. So I died. So when when you die though, you lose all the shrines again. So you've got to recollect them again, and depending on what mode you pick at the beginning of the game, you might lose all your stuff as well. So I've picked adventure mode, which is probably the easiest mode, and that means if I die, I keep all the stuff that I've collected. You can move on. There's two other modes, and I forget what the other two modes are called, but the middle mode is so if you die, you lose everything completely. And then there's another mode as well, which is even harder. But so I've chosen the easiest. If you die,
that's what I did as well.
Yeah, if you die, you lose. As I said, you lose the shrines.
The penalty for dying, I think, on the difficulty, I think it's quite a good idea because it also kind of plays to how big a fan you are of a survival crafting game in general. If you want all of that challenge, it's there for you. If, like me, you'd prefer to... Like, the last thing I want to do is have to restart every time I die, because I'm not going to last very long at all if that's the case, then there's the easier option where, you've got to go touch those shrines again, but you don't lose all of your progress, you don't lose everything you've made and everything you've built, and you can just carry on. Are you trying to find its balls?
I was trying to find the Y button to interact with it, but I couldn't find it. I was like, well, what have I got to do? Have I got to attack it again? Have I got to chop it up? What? And then as I came down the body, all of a sudden it appeared for me. I was like, right, okay, interact, yes. So this, I think, is the last one. So I've skipped ahead. I've regained the other two.
Yeah.
And I've now got the final one. And them animals, by the way, they give you meat, and then you can make a fire, you can cook it, and then the skin you can cook the skin and make leather, and then that gives you more options to make more stuff as well. And it's all there for you in the game. And you can make an axe to chop down trees. You can make a hammer to crush rocks and stuff. You can make... It kind of looks like a hoe, but that's what you use to dig up those mounds. There's a whole range of tools and weapons that you can make. I tried the slingshot initially on that Gorehorn, and
that's what I was using.
Yeah,
it's not very powerful.
It's no good. It's no good for them. No, and to get the most powerful shot, you've really got to time it well, and that's quite difficult. But the spear, I found the spear a lot easier to kill him with. And funny enough, when you go through this bit, it gives you an option to make an offering again, and one of the offerings you can choose is a spear gifted by the gods, and it doesn't break.
Oh, cool!
So obviously, I picked that.
Yeah.
So I was like, yes. So yeah, it's quite good. It's a good pace. It's you get stuff as you go along, and then you find more stuff on every island, and then you find your inventory and creative menu. You can build more, and then you'll find something else, an ingredient, and you'll go, now I can make that. Yes, excellent. So then you make that, and then that helps you out even more. I did find out. So you know the smaller boars, the real small ones.
Yeah.
If you attack those, the big mama will come and attack you. That's how I ended up in the fight that killed me originally.
What about the story? Have you seen much of that?
Yeah. So this bit I'm about to go into now, this is part of the story, and as far as I can make out, the gods gifted the ability to do wind, and then so we could make ships that sailed the sea, and that's the first little story section you'll see in a second. Story section you get, and there was 5 of those, so I'm assuming each area will unlock a new bit of the story. So yeah, I don't know much more than the first little bit, but yeah, it's quite interesting. So there you go. So this is the room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5. And then you get the first little section of the story pop up.
Okay.
So you got praying to the gods, and then it shows across that they made wind. And then we created ships.
And they were sailing along with the thing that appeared to kill them all.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So yeah, and as far as that creature's concerned, that initially took us out, I've seen him again once.
Yeah. And
it was the end of this section. But to see that, you'll have to play the game yourself. But, but so yeah, I've seen it again once. I'm assuming that's gonna have more of a play in it. But overall, dude, it's about that time. So, what do you think overall?
Yeah, what I played, I'm really impressed, and I'm going to go back to. Really like the look of it, and I like the feel of it, and yeah, it's not what I traditionally call my kind of game, but I really, really was drawn in by what I played of it, so I'm quite looking forward to investing more time. How about you?
Yeah, definitely. I was very impressed with the whole game as a whole, really. So overall the game was very, very good, and I enjoyed it immensely, and yeah, I shall definitely be going back to it. But if you guys enjoyed what you're seeing now and would like to play the game, it is available to download on Games of Gold. But as for us, that'll be all, and we'll see you next time. See ya!
Bye!